Boom! Look who stepped in the room. It's your girl Pam. We're back.
And her father. I'm here just like I ain't here.
I was getting ready to introduce you, Daddy. Well, this is my lovely brother Lee Brown, as he has already introduced himself, but we will reintroduce my wonderful father Lee Brown, and we are here with Tip Talk tonight. hmm And we're going to be talking about why can't we hear the truth? And it's found, guys, in Romans 1 and 28. Good chapter to go ahead on and put that into the routine that you have in your studies. Make sure you add that in there as well. Read that whole chapter. You get a full understanding.
It's a good night. I hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I want to say I'm thankful and I'm proud we hit 1,000 views.
Over here.
1,000.
Over here or over on Paul Piper's page?
Over here.
Oh, we did. Huh? Okay.
It's about 300 on Paul U.S. page.
Oh.
So, keep up the good work. It encourages us to keep on pushing on when we know someone is listening. Because we love to do the work, like the Bible said, the hands, the feet, the mouth of God. So,
and it's just the easiest thing. We're not asking for any money. All we're asking you to take a couple of seconds out of your day, hit that share button, and to say 5 things on the comments. That means a lot. That lets, and then share it. Share the information. Allow other people to see it. 3 things we asked you to do. And I don't think that's much. I do it a lot on other people's pages that I go to just because I want that to be done to me. And yes, I think the little ones got me again. Like they got me again. I'm probably going to be sneezing tonight.
Okay, I guess we can go on and get into this. We can read the scripture, and we're going to invite the Holy Spirit in to lead us and guide us in the right direction, inspire us to inspire you so that you can inspire us.
To continue to inspire you. Oh no, carry on talking. I knew this was going to
happen. So tonight while she's gone, I'm gonna read the scripture, and this is coming from Romans 1 and 28. It says, and since they did not see fit to acknowledge God, God gave them up to a debased mind, and to things that should not be done. They were filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, contrary malice, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and gossip. So this fits in with what we've been trying to teach about reprobated mind. And the book goes into a lot of this because everything is not like, when you look at that, and the title is, why can't we hear the truth? We're going to explain it why you can't hear the truth. Because it says in the scripture, it says, for this reason God gave them up to a degraded position. Was that it? Romans
1:28.
No, 28. And since they did not see fit to acknowledge God, Why you can't hear God is because He gave you up. And since they didn't see fit to acknowledge God,
Mm-hmm.
He gave you up. This is why you can't hear. God gave them up to a debased mind and to things that and to things that should not be done. So as your mind decrease from grace, it slowly become deceived, and because it doesn't happen all at once. It just kind of slowly begin to drain you over time, where you begin to accept.
It's like gaining weight.
Hmm?
It's like gaining weight. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh, well, I'm gonna go ahead on and I can do this and I can do that. I can eat that ice cream over there, and next thing you know, you 20 pounds heavier. Like you just woke up like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it is not, and it's the same posture that is taken in that as it is in for us to get farther and farther away from God. And when I was getting farther and farther away, I didn't want to hear the truth. I didn't want to hear no truths at all. So I stayed away from those who said that they knew God. There was a point of time that y'all didn't see me. Because then I wasn't trying to justify my wrongness. I knew I was wrong. But I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. Thought I was big and grown enough to do. I was in that area. And so, but because of mama and grandmas and daddies and everybody's prayers, I only could go so far. We're going to thank God for that. And for the how I was raised, because this could have been a whole nother thing. I could be talking and saying something way different. But as the farther and farther you get away from hearing sound doctrine, from what the God is telling you, the easier it is to accept the other things that the world is saying to you. And that's how we become. And after a while, we just don't want to hear anything. You can't tell us nothing about God. We're going to do what we want to do. In fact, we're going to take what God said and say that it's a lie. And what we say is the truth. So we turning now, we're taking, you'll see that in this age that we're in now. Things that they are taking, they're saying that this right here is true now. Even though it goes directly against what God is saying. And then you have other people agreeing with them. Those people will be turned over to a reprobate mind. And it's not a good thing to be turned over.
Okay. Give us the definition of a reprobated mind.
A reprobate mind is a person who has denied the truth and has accepted a lie. And God said, and don't want to do any better. Want to stay. And here's the catch. You want to be there. You literally want to be in this filth. But you don't see it as filth. You're now in an illusion because you have now started to believe the lie. You don't want the truth. You don't want the truth. You believe the truth is a lie. And you much rather believe that the lie is the truth. So you can continue to do what you want to do.
Okay. Now, a reprobated mind is one that accepts deceit. And that's what Satan came with, a reprobated mind. God turned him over to a reprobated mind because he could accept deceit. And because he accepted deceit, every thought that come out of his mouth was a lie. Jesus came with just the opposite, grace. He accepted grace. So, deceit is a reprobated being with a 100% malevolent mind. A benevolent mind is a mind that wishes to do evil. That's why it's telling you that as you begin to accept this, because God is giving you will, choice, and freedom. So as you begin to accept deceit as a way of life,
Mm-hmm.
every thought that comes out of your mouth is a lie. Now, Jesus came with grace so that we could begin to accept grace. But each one of us was born into this world accepting our tradition. And because we accepted tradition, our thoughts are ignorant. Now, if you accept deceit, your thoughts are going to be a lie.
Well, it's not everything that is taught. Our traditions are all ignorant thoughts. I don't agree.
Okay. Okay. Tradition produces an ignorant thought. An ignorant thought is just an unlearned thought.
Mm.
It's something that was passed down from generation to generation. It's unlearned. It does not mean that it's wrong. It means that you accepted it ignorantly. Ignorant means just unlearned. Wisdom produces an intelligent thought.
So you're saying things that we learned as a child, if we continue doing the childish things, that
You're not growing in grace.
you're not growing. But that doesn't mean at the time, as a child, it was ignorant. It's on point. It's what you needed. But now you need to grow with it. It's like the turkey cutting off the legs. At the time, that was very intelligent. And if you still got a little small oven, it will still be intelligent to do that. But if you got something bigger and you're moving forward, then it doesn't make sense to cut the legs off.
So you're saying just what I just said. You're saying tradition is something unlearned. It's just been passed down to a generation. You accepted it. You accepted it
Mm-hmm.
without analyzing it. When you accept knowledge, knowledge produces something that is just. And
So if you do tradition without, if you're just accepting something without investigating it, because you may not need that anymore. You may needed that when you was 5, but you don't need it now. It's a building block. When things that you were taught as you was young, and if it doesn't change and you grow with it, then you're stuck. So then that's what becomes traditional.
yeah, because you're repeating something over and over again
without evidence that it's working for you today.
Without facts.
That it worked, because it did work for you. It may work for them. I believe that it worked for them at some point. But now, it's like when we were going to school, elementary. I'm making sure everybody kind of get it. Elementary, we learning the basics there. And the basics is building blocks for higher learning. And without the building blocks tradition, you can't move forward. After you realize that you no longer need to cut your legs off, you move on to a bigger thing, a bigger oven, or you know what I'm saying? But they're building blocks to the next level. And if you don't have those building blocks, then... So I'm not saying that tradition is bad. I'm saying that because it sounds like it's a bad thing. It becomes ignorant if you continue to walk in that and you don't need to anymore.
Tradition produces, like I say, produces an ignorant thought. If you keep on repeating tradition over and over and over again, tradition only works 20% of the time. If you're satisfied and you and your partner is satisfied with tradition, then that is what you is where you're gonna live your life. It's telling you in the scripture.
I want everybody to drop a line on what is your definition of tradition. We want to see what you all think about that. We want this to become an interactive thing. I've got my cameras closer so that I now can see, and we can answer those questions when they come in, because I noticed that we wasn't able to answer questions when they came in, and not all the time are my sisters on. So now I can see it. I'm watching all the cameras now. So your comments are important. We want to hear what you have to say, and so as we learn things, we want to hear what you have to say, because you probably have more knowledge than we have in it. So let us know, and that way we'll all learn together. How about that?
Okay. Where we at here is we're trying to explain that there's degrees of grace and there's degrees of deceit. The degree you're born in this world, every little child is not born with knowledge. They have to learn knowledge. They go to school to learn knowledge. You're born with tradition. You're born in your tradition. And you begin to grow from one step to another.
Like a stepping stone.
And he's trying to get you to accept knowledge, because he said, my people die from lack of knowledge. They decrease and become deceived because they don't have knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
How a relationship stays together is that two people, if they're sharing the same tradition, which is one step up from deceit, they have a chance of making it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not even though there's war between them.
They're more evenly yoked.
Yeah. Tradition is, I'm a Baptist, you're a Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
We have basically the same values.
Right.
So if we are satisfied with that state, that's where we're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, one person begin to grow or mature. They say, I don't want an 80-20 relationship. 20% of the time it works, 80% of the time it doesn't.
Right.
I want some knowledge into
Mm-hmm.
because knowledge works. I put it at 60-40.
There's some wisdom in here.
Mm. Wisdom is growing from level to level. It goes from tradition to superstition to suspicion. You got to defeat these and come into the knowledge of the truth so that you understand and have wisdom and grace.
Now I know y'all didn't see what he was pouring in, but he has a whole worksheet over here that if you wanted it, you can definitely come down to the flea market and we can definitely put you on the list to get one. It's that easy, free. Just let us know.
Because it's trying to tell you that grace is 100% human. When God created Adam, he created Adam as a human being. He had a human mind. And he had a benevolent mind. A benevolent, it means wish to do good. That's what benevolent means. Anybody with deceit has a malevolent mind. That a malevolent mind, and you can Google this, look it up, means wish to do evil. So when we are born into the world, we're not we don't have the mind that Adam had, and we don't have the mind that Satan had. We are hybrids. We have a carnal mind,
Okay.
not a benevolent mind. So sometimes we wish to do good, sometimes we wish to do evil. That's a carnal mind. So you have a benevolent mind, a carnal mind, and a malevolent mind. We're giving you these words because you can go Google these words and look them up. So you don't have to take my traditional word for it. Is what it is. You're trying to grow from tradition to defeat that, defeat superstition, defeat suspicion, and come into the knowledge. Then you understand. Then you have wisdom. Then you have grace. Grace is what Jesus Christ came with. Grace and truth. Tradition and something ignorant is what we come with. And we grow. We decide you can't impose your tradition upon me because it doesn't work for me enough.
Paul said it even best. He said, as a child, I did childish things. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. So at some point, we got to start to grow and grow up into whatever it is that we're doing.
Yeah, from one level to another.
Mhm.
But you got to defeat that level before you can go to it. When I gave this to you to read, did you read the whole thing?
I did not. I fell asleep. Dad, I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, I was asleep before you left.
No, that's why I was trying to.
I
That's
have
what we were working on.
And then if you give me these things like a day or two, because in the morning I have my devotions, right? I can add this into my devotions because I know in the afternoon all reading material becomes sleeping material. I'm tired at the end of the day. When I get off from work, all I can do is go to sleep. That's the reason why I make sure I do my devotions in the morning. It's a struggle to do them in the morning, but they'll never get done in the afternoon. So if you can give me this paperwork in a day or two before, I can come over and pick them up after work, and I can add that into my devotions, and I'll have it read.
What we're trying to do is, since AI is advancing, I make one of these out. It's about 5 minutes to read it, and we're going to try to get AI. I'm going to talk this out on AI, and that way a person can listen to it one time, listen to it 2 times, listen to it 3 times, and it's going to show pictures at the same rate that you are listening to it. It's going to be explaining the things that we're talking about. So 2 of your instincts can take over. You can hear the truth and you can see the good in what we're trying to do. But we just haven't got to that point yet. So like she said, she'd like to have this a day or two. I just got through with this today. So
I won't be able to read it. But I will take this and add it into my my daily devotions because I take each one of these, like this lesson from Romans. I read Romans. I do Proverbs, Psalms, and then I do whatever we're going to be studying for that week. I'm just now adding in both of them so that it's part of my study now. So, but if I had this, and I also go to Chatty, and I enter it in, and I also study it there too.
So To give you an example of what some of this is, I'm gonna read some of it. Or would you like to read it?
What do you want to read?
Just read down, and so as they can hear in the future. As soon as we get it set up, you'll get the little manuscript that takes you about 5 minutes to listen to. She's not gonna do it all, but she's gonna give you an example of what you'll be listening to 2 or 3 weeks from now, whenever we can get it together.
Why can't we hear the truth? Romans 1 and 28. Romans 1 and 28, King James Version. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a probated mind. What, am I your way?
No, you go on.
Oh,
I thought of another way of keep on going.
okay. This verse explains the spiritual cause behind why a person becomes unable to hear and understand and receive truth. It isn't because the truth is quiet. It's because the mind no longer has the ability to recognize it. 1. Truth must be obtained in the mind, the left hemisphere. Paul says they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. The mind, man, left hemisphere, receive validation, information, knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and grace. Truth requires this entry process.
You want this to read it?
Sure, Daddy.
I'm just saying.
It's because the mind no longer has the ability to recognize it.
1. Truth must be retained in the mind, left hemisphere. Paul says they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. The mind, man, left hemisphere, receives validated information, knowledge, understanding, wisdom, grace. Truth requires this entire process. But when a person refuses knowledge, the process collapses. It's like you unplug the lamp, then complain the room is dark. When truth is not retained, the mind begins losing the ability to
Anywhere
tell.
on there you want to
Truth
stop.
from lies, wisdom from superstition, grace from the deceit.
You can go ahead and stop
2.
now.
The rejection causes God to step back. Cerebellum balance.
You want to stop now?
Yeah, that was. They just got a little glimpse of what's happening.
So what we're trying to set this up is that in the future, you'll get this before we come on, so you know you can be just as informed about what we're going to talk about, because it'll come on during the weekend. You can access it when you get ready, because it's important that it is explained to you so that you are not bound in your traditional way of thinking. This is trying to free people from that lower level so that they can grow in grace and mature in love and stop believing everything that everybody tell you.
Right.
Because if you don't see it working for them, it's not going to work for you.
Well,
Hmm?
it might work for you.
To a degree. The only thing that really works is what Christ brought. Not our tradition, not our superstition, not our suspicion about what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of these things work to a degree, and you're trying to decide what degree that you want it to work in your life. Because in order to get understanding, you got to go through some trials. It just ain't going to just pop there. Everything that Jesus did, he was tried because he wanted it more so than he wanted a benevolent mind.
He wanted us. You can't say that God did not go through what we went through, because Jesus went through everything that we're going through now.
Right.
He
He
And-
defeated
and
it.
he defeated it. That means that we can defeat it as well. Although he was God and human, when he was down here, he was the human part, is what he came down here to do. If he was going to be God and human at the same time, he could have just stayed where he was. But he came down here so that to show us, there's a lot of reasons why he came down, but to show us that we can do this. But we can't do it by ourselves. Because through him, all things are possible. And in the Bible, and it tells us all throughout, if you read first in the Proverbs, chapter 1, it tells you that wisdom is in the streets. And this is what he said he gives to you in abundance. You got to have that to be able to understand what's going on. And so that those blinders and things, so you won't be getting tricked and fooled if you take on wisdom. And he said, and it says, how long, you simpletons, will you not ask for he can give it to you. That's crazy. We're starving in the streets. We're dying. And God is trying to throw on wisdom on us. Let's throw it on us. And we said, no. I don't want wisdom. Give me some of that foolishness that I had back there. That's what I want. I can testify to that. That's what you want. Mama could understand nothing I was doing at certain points in my life, especially my young adult life. Woo. I can see it now. Foolish. And that's because I didn't know anything about this wisdom thing. Taking on wisdom and understanding that. So now I get it. And I'm here because I don't want people to wait till they're 61.
To get it. The same way that if I'd had it, I could have taught it to you.
Right.
Now that you're getting it, you can begin to teach it to
my grandkids.
So it can get down to the smallest one.
So we can stop the curse.
Yeah. So that's what this is about. This is not traditional. When I try to tell my younger daughter, 2 peas in a pod and get on board is not. We don't talk in a traditional manner. If you want to hear someone talk in a traditional manner, then you go to church.
Well, you might hear me get a little excited.
Well,
I've been known to be. I'm a little excited, Daddy. I will shout.
And there's nothing wrong with shouting. What I'm saying is, we're not captured. We're not prisoners to tradition.
We're not.
Because there's some people, they are prisoners to a tradition and they can't get out. Unless someone like Jesus Christ came and freed us from the curse of the law so that we can come out. And then you begin to grow.
The word said, how can one hear unless there's a preacher?
Preacher preach. And I kind of preacher preach unless he's sent.
Period. So therefore, we've got to be speaking the word. Just living it. We should try to live it. Live the word. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about ready to shout again.
This tells you what a reprobate mind is. A reprobate mind is a disqualified, malfunctioning, or disconnected mind. That's the definition that you can always go look up. You say, what is a reprobated mind? It's one that a mind is a disqualified, malfunction. It's almost like a car that's malfunctioning.
Right.
So, if your mind is not functioning in it like God created it to function,
you'll bring it to me to fix. And I'm going to get in there and I'm going to try to fix it for you. But guess what? I don't know nothing about no car. But that's just how a reprobate mind is. Refusing the truth to accept a lie. You see people running around being foolish all the time? Mm-hmm.
It says It means that a man can still think with the mind, but it can no longer judge what is real or right. He still hears words, but he cannot hear the truth.
Boy, that sounds like your president.
This is why Jesus said, repent. He that has an ear to hear,
Let him hear.
him hear physically, they can't hear spiritually. The mind was deaf.
That means you can still function in this world, on this plane, but you're cut off spiritually. Ooh. Ooh.
So I can't wait until we can do this ahead of time, and everybody will begin to know at their own space what we're going to talk about and begin to ask questions. It's going to be exciting when we get this really together.
It's going to be a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should. I think I'm going to visit Chatty and see what we can come up with. I'm pretty sure. And you know what, you all, if you all have some ideas on how to, I don't know, I think we probably could just read it and it'll be there for them. But I like the idea for them to have this.
To hear it and to see it both at the same time.
Yeah. So you can see, but they have something like where you can turn your phone over and they can see this. You got to have two things, and they work together. I don't know how it works. I got to look into something like that. I've been wanting to do that anyway for when I get ready to go live. When I'm showing my work, I want to show my work and still be able to talk to people to see me and my work. I see people do it all the time. I'm just not sure what that is. So if anybody knows, that's the reason why it's important to share out, because we ask questions in here and we want to know some answers. If you all know what that camera is that I'm talking about, drop it in the comments so that we can get something like that started.
Here's what it says in simple terms, without going through a lot of philosophy. It says, you can't hear the truth because you stop valuing it.
Okay.
You start retaining it. The mind becomes reverse. The darkness becomes the loudest with the light. It isn't what the truth appears. The receiver becomes broken.
Huh?
It's telling you you can't hear the truth because you stop valuing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as I'm talking about the turkey and the chicken, I'm valuing it. But one person doesn't value that. He's not hearing you talk about roasting chicken in a pan. I mean, I'm hearing my tradition because I value tradition.
I guess
I'm cooking the turkey with the legs on it,
mm-hmm.
because that's my tradition and I'm valuing that. So I'm valuing that, I'm hearing it. If I stop valuing it, I don't want to hear nothing about cooking no turkey, no chicken, and no cutting the chicken legs off.
Yeah, especially if it's been working for you.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with cutting chicken legs off. If that's what you're into, that's fine. But why are you doing it? And after you find out why you're doing it, maybe you want to change that. Or maybe you just want to continue doing it. But at least you now understand why they did it, why mama and them did it, why grandma and them did it.
Yeah, you got the option of doing
now
it.
Now you got options to take others. Oh, that's the reason why, baby. Yo, you got a bigger pan. You got a bigger oven. We did it because we had a small oven. But if you still want to continue to do that and it works for you, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with it. But now you know why mama and them did what they did. Mm-hmm.
And then it says, truth lies in the mind, but the mind must retain it. Paul said, did not like to retain God in their knowledge. because you didn't like to retain the truth, then you warred against it. So what we're talking about here tonight is why you can't hear the truth. And it's trying to tell you all these things why you can't hear the truth. One of them is you don't like what the truth is saying. If the truth is telling me that I must die, and I don't want to die, I'm not going to try to hear that.
Yeah, if you tell me somebody slapped me, I gotta turn my cheeks so they can slap the other side. They talk about me, I gotta get them wait, what? This may not be something you want to hear. I want to hit you back.
And that's the truth.
Like, what? Come on now. I'm not a doormat and nor am I a punching bag. I have reactions. Listen, y'all, I would advise anybody because I'm not there yet. I'll let you know.
So if you're getting the idea, the question is, why can't we hear the truth?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we don't want to retain the truth. We can't hear something that we
don't want.
We don't want.
We want to do all that old stuff that God tells us not to do. And then run around like, why me? Why I gained 20 pounds? Because I ate up everything. And now I got to go to the doctor because now I got the diabetes.
So, now if you get into hang of it, when we ask the question, we're trying to answer that question. Why can't you hear the truth? Now, put a couple stars in there and say, I think I'm beginning to understand why I can't hear the truth. The main reason is I don't want to hear the truth.
Now you know. Now you know. It really boils down to what we're wanting. What are you expecting? We have a choice to eat off the table of righteousness or continue eating off the table of sin. And what better known as death. You eat off the table of life or we're going to have the table of death. Junior would say pig is death.
So it says, a reprobated mind cannot hear the truth. The word reprobated means disqualified, malfunctioning, unable to pass the test. A reprobated mind is not empty. It is full of the wrong things. It can still think, but it cannot judge correctly. All these things that we're trying to give you something to work with. When we say reprobated mind, you said, now you begin to understand about a reprobated mind. It's a disqualified mind, a malfunctioning mind.
I like this part there. He says, superstitions replace understanding. Superstitions replace wisdom. Deceit replace grace. These are all part of the disconnect and the malfunctioning of a reprobate mind.
But
got some simple terms, Eddie. You cannot hear the truth because you stop valuing it. You start retaining it. The mind becomes reversed, and darkness becomes louder than light. It isn't that the truth disappears. Oops.
Yeah, down. What was that?
Yeah, scroll down. It's right here. It's not that it disappears. It said, wait a minute. It's not that the darkness becomes louder than light. It isn't that the truth disappears. The receiver becomes broken. So it's still the truth is still there, but because your receiver is broken, only thing you can receive now is darkness and dark thoughts.
But what we're doing here now is just getting me excited about what we're going to be doing in the future. And we're going to be preparing you for the main day. The main day, like every Wednesday, it'll be an hour worth of conversation. But the sampler will only be 5 minutes.
And if you read faster, it could be faster. But definitely get your pencils and papers, and we want to reach the people who are ready to wake up and ready for wisdom. And we want to show you how to get there. We want to help you. We want to point you in the right direction.
And as we help you, you in turn help us. Because if it's working for you, it's working for us. If it's working for us, it's working for you. It's almost back and forth. We are climbing this ladder together.
That's right. No big I's, no little U's. We're all here working it out together. And our truth is based in the Word of God. So if you want to know where we're coming from, that's where our truth is coming from.
So I think tonight she's gonna start researching Google, and I bet she come up with an answer how to get that done.
I will. Hopefully by next week.
If she don't, her brother will.
He gonna come up with something good. He gonna come up with something good. He takes things up notches.
So we still got 10 minutes. So
I still want to tell you all, while he's looking for some more things, shameless plug. I'm out at the Midwest Flea Market on 1915 East Pawnee. And I'm down there Saturday and Sunday. But they're open on Fridays too, y'all. Listen, the place is huge. People say, well, Pam, I hope people are advertising you as much as you're advertising them. We all have our assignments, right? We only can do what God leads us to do. And hopefully by me talking about their shop, they'll start talking about my shop. But if not, God will talk for it. Okay. You got so many angels, Daddy. You got so many angels. But anyway, I want you guys to come out. There's sales still going on in my shop. I don't know what's going on in everybody else's. But in Royalty, when you come through the front door, there's 2 doors you can come into. One farther down, closer to DG, Dollar General. And then there's one the farthest from DG. That's the first door. Come into that door. You'll see a green building. That's me. You're going to see Royalty. Come in. There's going to be jewelry there. Paparazzi. Also, Aroma Creations is there. Our oils are on sale. Our incense may be on sale. Nah, thinking about it, I don't know. Them prices kind of high to bring them down because they pretty much at rock bottom already. So, but I'm thinking some things. So come on in. I'm adding new things to it every week. There's always something coming in, Daddy. Most of that stuff is coming in for the shop. To add pieces here and there to bring it back up and decorate it and make it beautiful. So I want you to come out and see it. I want you to come out and look at the flea market. It's so nice. It's got like, how many people you think out there, Daddy? I know it's over 100. It's going to have to be like 200 or 300 vendors out there, Daddy. Every time I turn around, there's a new vendor and a new row. I'm trying to figure out where they're getting the space from.
they're going to run out sooner or later.
Sooner or later. But they still building. So y'all come on out. If you wanting to vend, come out.
But now that that commercial is over,
It's been forced to be over. I had a few more things to say, but don't worry about it. I'll get you later.
that we're trying to expose you to when why you can't hear the truth is because when you get off balance, God is the one who brings balance to your relationship. Your relationship is between right and left side of your brain. The left side is the one who's trying to hear the truth. A lot of time, the other side of your brain ain't trying to hear the truth, just trying to see what's good. That means that both sides has got to need and want one another, because one cannot see and one cannot hear. So they got to work together so that they appreciate one another. If you cannot create peace within yourself, you cannot create peace within anybody else. And we're trying to get to the point where we could begin to talk more about the book that I wrote. Because it really means
in my shop.
it really means what it says here. It says creating a divine relationship. Now that's a divine relationship is not like any ordinary relationship. A divine relationship is the highest relationship that you can have. For a man, a woman, and God in perfect harmony by studying the human brain. It means that you're just not going to just all of a sudden accept and believe because it's talking to you about things like right and left hemisphere, cerebrum, cerebellum, and half the people don't even know what those words mean.
Yeah, you just learned them yesterday.
Hmm?
You just learned them yesterday.
I know. That's why we don't talk about them all the time. We talk about what we know. But we're trying to get to the point where we slowly begin to bring that out. That the only time you can have a relationship with yourself is that these two hemispheres has got to stop making war against one another. And last week we was telling you that the right hemisphere is the one that can be cursed, but the left hemisphere cannot. It can be ill, but it can't be cursed. So there's a war that goes on in your cerebrum. And when I talk those words, if you don't have the book, and you don't understand so that we contrast and compare a relationship with that, then I'm speaking Greek. So we try to keep it down to.
In Greek, you can get a book to still be able to understand it. It's still not an excuse. Greek can be understood. It is still a language that is still alive and functioning.
And she has the books on sale out to the flea market. So if you really want a book and you don't want to order it on Amazon,
I have one. I have them for you. Come and get one. And we can get some autographed ones as well.
because one day I was inspired by God to write that book. One day that book is going to be a success. And the ones who get it with the autograph sign going to
Be the blessed ones and highly favored. Get it before everybody get it. Everybody figures it out.
So, if, like my daughter said, if anybody has got the information how we can put the previews on it so that they can run all week long, and you get an example of what we're going to be doing on Wednesday. Then I can start preparing these things way ahead of time.
And another thing, I think we can use this as part of our newsletter. Whoa! And then we can just email everything to everybody. Boom!
I belong to Delrose United Methodist Church, and I got a pastor. You bring up an idea, first thing he's going to say is, make it happen.
It's going to happen. I already have an email address. I will be tagging it in on all of my social media so that everybody can grab that and so that you can get, and then we can just mail them out to you.
And we'll try to make them, maybe I can make them a little shorter.
Yeah, you can make them a little bit shorter. We still can, have it, put it on a one page. Or you can have, when we're going through the chatty, you can tell chatty that condense it into a one pager.
I have tried to make it shorter, but somehow or another.
Your tradition won't let you. We're still struggling. The struggle is real.
Well, I've tried to put stuff in here that inspire people to want to get more information, because that if you notice, the Bible says there's going to be a great falling away. Churches are not as filled as they used to be, because our younger generation, the older generation, is beginning to die off.
And they're not teaching the younger generations.
Right, and I can't say this for all churches, but something is going to cause you not to renew the church, to make people come. You're like when that disease hit, the church got filled up.
You talking about COVID?
Yeah.
Didn't that empty him?
No, that made him come out.
Really?
I mean, okay. What I mean is, when a tragedy happens,
yep, we always call Lord, Lord.
Everybody wants to run to the Lord.
At least they know where to run to.
And you need to run to Him before the tragedy starts to happen.
So you'll be all right. And you won't be worried about it.
And we're saying this about the youth in our society are not coming until something really tragic happens.
Because that's how their parents taught them.
And we don't want that to be. Mm-hmm. We want them to be. Trials and tribulation is coming.
They will come. But they come to make you strong.
Make you run to the church and say, "Oh Lord, I don't know why."
Maybe not the church, but it will definitely make you run to God.
Okay.
That's for the building, but it's going to make you run back to the Master.
Okay, our hour is up. I learned something. I don't know about you, but I'm trying to learn to be better at presenting this.
Please make me better. Because I'll go on knowing that your grace will be enough to make me better, Lord. Hey, glory.
So we're going to say good night until next Wednesday when Paul Yvette and get on board. What is the light? If you hide it on the
You can't hide a light underneath the bush. You got to bring the light out. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Can't hide it under a bushel. No, no, no. You got to bring it out and let the light shine.
So we'll see you next Wednesday, and we're going to say good night.
Well, peace, love, hair grease.